Studies suggest there are nearly as many male victims of domestic violence as there are female victims. As WFUV's Sara Kugel reports, male victims often struggle to find help because support services commonly cater only to women victims of abuse.
The New York Asian Women's Center is located in an undisclosed suite on an upper floor of a nondescript building in Lower Manhattan. Director Larry Lee says keeping locations discreet is important.
Well, and with a domestic violence agency, there's always concerns about the batterer trying to locate women and also in trying to hurt staff. So people are very concerned about that. So we keep it confidential, even the administrative office.
You'd be hard-pressed to locate a similar organization for male victims, but for a different reason. Not many exist. According to a Department of Justice study, about 40% of all domestic violence victims are men. Nationwide, there are over 2,000 services for female victims of domestic violence, but only a handful make services available to both women and men. Doug Eldridge can attest to that. He's an electrician and father of 3 who, after being abused by his wife, struggled to find help for years.
She was, more physically abusive, hitting me in front of the kids sometimes. There was one incident where I woke up and she was hitting me in the head with a CD player.
Eldridge says he suspects there are a lot more male victims than statistics show because it's a hard thing to talk about.
There is other men out there, and it's almost like a double shame because you're feeling the shame of being beaten in the first place, but then being a man that's being beaten by a woman, is like a double kicker. Because society tells you that you're supposed to be the assertive and aggressive one.
Eldridge stayed in the relationship for about 5 years. He says he looked for help, but couldn't find any.
The female-run organizations that are in my area, who of course have all the funding and stuff like that, they were very unwilling to help me, and they actually were trying to get rid of me from coming to ask them for help so bad that they started threatening me in order to get rid of me so that I wouldn't stop, because they wouldn't help me. But I kept asking them for help.
Jan Brown is the executive director of the Domestic Abuse Helpline for Men and Women, one of the few resources in the country that specializes in working with men abused by women. According to Brown, her hotline gets about 850 calls a month from men all over the nation. She says that's proof society's view on domestic violence needs to change.
The attention should be on the abuse. Bottom line, who's abused? First come, first serve. In my opinion, it shouldn't be because women are the majority, we have to pay all the attention and give all the services to women. It should be for everybody.
As for Doug Eldridge, he says he's doing well. He now has full custody of his 3 young children. His now ex-wife has been diagnosed with alcoholism and depression and is receiving help. For Cityscape, I'm Sara Kugel.